Head, the Faison View podcast, back again with another episode. Today's topics, and it's based around the industry, but today's topics are money versus integrity, the Jussie Smollett situation, and Jay-Z being our ambassador and leader of our culture, man. What you want to talk about? All right, first off, man, money versus integrity. Reason why I bring this up is because the situation and the conversation that was brought up between Steve Harvey and Monique. So, long story short, Monique, she felt like she's been blackballed by the industry's biggest African American, people that we speak on. Oprah being one, Lee Daniels being another, and Tyler Perry. And I'm not sure if you know what she said, but she said, "Suck my private parts to them," because she felt like she was being blackballed and she wasn't being appreciated for a legacy act and comedian as she is. And other people of legacy acts and other comedians of her statue and near her statue were getting paid more than her. And she felt like that wasn't right. And she's done a lot in her career to earn the right to have a say-so. Monique didn't feel right about this situation, so she spoke up about her situation, and people didn't agree with the things that she had to say. And I necessarily don't agree how she worded it and how she put things, but I agree with her from an integrity standpoint. She know her core values, her and what she's worth, honestly, and how she feels about certain things. She's just not gonna keep shut because of the industry and how people are looked upon and blackballed all the time. She wasn't just gonna let that happen to her, even though it probably did happen to her. She wasn't just gonna stay silent. So Steve Harvey in the other case, he has so many jobs. And Steve Harvey, as a man, as a mogul, Steve Harvey is embedded in our culture, and he's one of the legends. But the knock that Steve Harvey gets a lot is that he's on these different platforms, in which the conversation with Monique and Steve Harvey, you could kind of see that he really doesn't care about the type of integrity he has towards himself. And it's not saying he doesn't have core values, he doesn't value anything, but he's more worried about the dollar value and the money and having these certain type of relationships with these white and black certain people of power and keeping those relationships. When Steve Harvey makes about $42 to $70 million probably a year, and not to say what he could do with his money, but I know he could build an empire of his own and build an empire where he can feed other black people, feed other black comedians, entertainers such as Monique. But that's him. He's doing what he has to do. He's chasing his bag. All salute to the kings and queens, But also, I don't agree with Steve Harvey had to say to Monique, because as her brother, they're very close, and they came up in the industry about the same time. Monique just felt like she wanted more respect and wanted more of her brother to back her up in a sense. But he was basically saying, yes, she was wrong for coming at them the way she did, but not just that. He was saying, like, just shut your mouth. Keep chasing this money and basically keep kissing these white people or people of power's butts to secure your positions in this industry and keep on eating and eating. But that doesn't sense integrity to me. What Monique did was integrity. What her core values were, what she felt like was right, she did that. That integrity, it overrules money. It definitely overrules money. I feel like money can cause a lot of problems. And it causes greed. But you have to be true to yourself. You have to to install your core values and not just have a face value or money value really depend on who you are. Really make you who you are or not. We just that money thing is just so fickle because it really turns people into totally different people. That's why people, when they say, oh yeah, when I get money, I won't be like that. You don't know that, because money will change you and change people and how you view your thing, how you view your own self. But you have to keep your integrity. Remember where you came from. Mind yourself where you want to go, but also stay true to yourself. Why do you think Cardi B is so liked and so known? She's true to herself. And that's why she's so popular. Her rap music and her music is very good. But people view her because of her personality. She's not shy of being who she is. Her integrity is not fickle. And Monique was basically just trying to get Steve Harvey to view her situation and try to get an understanding of it. But he understood it, but he didn't necessarily agree with it. And it's sad to see, because this black woman, this black queen who's been in our industry for a very long time and deserves everything she gets and deserves in her life, she's gonna get that probably times 2 or times 3 more because of this situation right here. You can say she's getting blackballed, but you know, karma's a bee. Everything's gonna come back, and she kept her integrity. She's gonna get everything back, just like the Kaepernick situation where he just signed off a deal with them. And people feel a way about it. No, he kept his integrity. He stood up for what he believed in. He stood up for our culture. He stood up. When a lot of people folded, he stood up. You still have people playing in the NFL. You still have people supporting the NFL. You still have people watching the NFL. You have a lot of things going on. But he kept his integrity, and he did also start a chain reaction where a lot of people didn't. And the NFL's And also the NFL has lost a lot of money from certain viewers not looking at the NFL anymore because of Kaepernick's situation. He deserves everything and more because he sacrificed everything to really gain knowledge on what's going on politically and socially in our culture. And our people don't realize that he had integrity and he stood up for what he believed in. See, if you stand for something or you fall for everything. And Steve Harvey, he's a great man. He's done a lot of things. He has a lot of accolades. He's a legend as well. But the people knock on the knock on him is he lacks integrity of really truly where he's come from and where he's going and how he's got there. Because if it wasn't for our culture, it wasn't for our community, he wouldn't be in these situations. So, and I'm not trying to say he was or bash him. He wasn't trying to just not agree with Monique, but his views of things were very fickle. And I feel like Monique, she deserves everything she's going to get and more. So, man, I got integrity over money any day. Any day. You know, just because money is in front of you does not mean you should just take it based off of any circumstances. No. Point blank, period. Keep your integrity. So next, this Jussie Smollett. I know we don't want to have a serious podcast. I know, but I gotta speak some real content. I gotta tell y'all what's going on. And I feel like this is the most messed up thing that has happened in 2019. The Jussie Smollett situation had happened 2 weeks ago, confirmed as a hate crime of at first, white individuals in Chicago wearing a MAGA hat approached Jussie Smollett and was really trying to hurt him, supposedly. And this was the breaking story that just happened. And comes to find out, this story is a little fickle. And the reason why I didn't want to bring it up when it came out, because it sounded fickle. First off, you're in Chicago, they're wearing MAGA hats. And I believe most of the story at first until it started getting deeper and deeper into the story. Well, these people with MAGA hats had bleached him, put him in a noose, and did multiple things to him and beat him up. So if that was the case, and which also was documented, he didn't call the police until 45 minutes after. He also called his manager first, and which is different. And he said he had the noose on for a certain amount of time. All these things just didn't add up. It just sounded like a hoax. But also, a lot of people stood up for him. A lot of people celebrities of big names and big stature stood up for him, and now it's not looking pretty, and he has people looking stupid. So now, the sources just say that it wasn't what you thought it was. It was two Nigerian men that he has relations with, that he knows, personal or friends of his, and saying they beat him up, and this happened. It's just a lot in the story that doesn't add up. And this is a very serious situation, because he is gay and he's African American. And you're saying this is a hate crime. People do deal with these things every day. Jussie Smollett, every day, man. And probably as you're doing this as a hoax and trying to get attention of viewers to your show, to your music, people are really going through these things. So it really hurts. It really hurts to have him do this and put the limelight on a lot of people that supported him, and it come out to be what it is now. And I feel like this is the biggest news because of the headlines of which they were talking about, and it could bring light to a lot of other things. You're talking about a noose. You're talking about bleach. You're talking about a hate crime. You're talking about the MAGA hat. All those things you just brought light to in a supposed hate crime that seems to be that you're lying. Point blank period. Seems to be that you're lying. And you put a lot of things together. First of all, the picture of his eye being messed up and his lip, I felt like that wasn't serious injuries to what he was claiming had happened. And also, those two black Nigerian men, if they were to beat you up, do you really think you would just have a slight, slight busted lip and your eye a little swollen? No, I don't think that at all. And it's really sad. It's really sad to see, and that we have to report on this and talk about this, because we want to support you and all your endeavors. People don't really. I don't understand this situation because people never really had anything bad to say about Jussie Smollett. He seems like a stand-up guy, and he can sing. He's talented. So why are you bringing this negative light onto yourself? Like, this is baffling, and it's very disappointing to see. And a lot of people that stepped up and had said things, I feel bad for them, because they have to, take heed that this man really had created a whole story. And I know a lot of the things are not out solidified, but for sure, for certain, that story that he initially came out with is not true at all. And people were asking, does he deserve jail time for this? I don't know. Maybe so, because you're putting other people's lives in jeopardy over, you trying to have clout and trying to get attention to your name. It's ugly and it's sad. I mean, it's ugly and it's sad. And I don't really want to have to be giving you guys this report or content about this situation, but it's just sad to see that a lot of people are just doing things for clout. Industry, doing things for clout. Like, why? This rapper, supposedly got his chain robbed and things of that nature, and blamed another rapper when in reality they faked a robbery that actually became a robbery. So the things that you do for clout, man, kill it, man. Why are y'all doing things for clout? You're just trying to be seen. It's disturbing in this social media era that we have things like this going on, but unfortunately, it's what it is. And lastly, man, my man Jay-Z, man, shout out to Jay-Z. I feel like he's not getting enough recognition as he really truly deserves. We give recognition to the Queen Bee, and she deserves all her recognition, but my man Jay-Z has stepped up for the forefront. For Meek Mill, he stepped up for the forefront for Lil Wayne, and he stepped up for the forefront of 21 Savage. So, like, I feel like we really have to start appreciating Jay-Z more. He's a mogul. He's a billionaire. He has so many things going for himself. Like, we just have to appreciate him while he's here. And he's a true GOAT. And I feel like, man, oh man, I feel like he deserves everything that's going to come his way because he's been helping our black community out in so many different ways. And not just of lately, just in general. And also the things that he's gone through from where he comes from and how he has gotten here. Like, I feel like we have to, shine light to Jay-Z a lot. Somebody who everybody should look up to. So, man, this is episode 116. Y'all tune in to my YouTube, tune in to my IG, tune in to my Twitter, my Facebook. I love all the fans and listeners and viewers that are supporting me through this journey. I'm just so blessed, and I'm continue to give you good content. Hashtag the Faison View Podcast out, man.